Am I the astronaut for intentionally making the wrong cake? I know the title doesn't sound great, but hear me out. 5 years ago, my dad got remarried after my mom passed away following a lengthy illness. I was happy that my dad had found someone that made him happy, even if I wasn't thrilled about his new bride. She's always been kind to me, but I haven't ever gotten used to how she is with my dad. But hey, if he's happy, I can live with it. I recently visited my dad and stepmom, to celebrate my dad's birthday. They had planned to get together at their house with some of their friends and her kids and grandkids. She always goes a little crazy when planning an event, so she was freaking out leading up to the party and was particularly rude and mean to my dad. I had told her that I would take care of making the cake. She reluctantly agreed, but said, "Make sure it's gluten-free for my allergies." I told her no problem and rolled my eyes. Her gluten allergy always seems to act up or be an issue at very convenient times for her, so I decided to do a little test. I got all the ingredients for the cake and made a beautiful cake for the party. It came time to sing happy birthday and cut the cake. Everyone took a slice, including Stepmonster, and they all raved about how good it was. Stepmonster even had a second slice. After the party was over, the three of us were cleaning up and she found the empty cake mix and saw that it wasn't gluten-free. She flipped out. She started yelling at me for not taking her allergies seriously and how she knew something was off because now she doesn't feel good. I apologized and said I forgot. They went off to bed, and apparently she spent the whole night sick in the bathroom and berating my dad all night like it was somehow his fault. My flight was leaving the next day, and she seemed more than happy to have me leave and mentioned no less than 5 times about how tired she was from being sick all night. I know it probably wasn't the right thing to do, but I had enough, and I feel like now we all know that her allergy is just a convenient excuse. Am I the astronaut? I'm kind of torn on this because if it is a real allergy that just hadn't kicked in yet, then yeah. But if it is an act and it's just an act for attention or control or whatever it is, then yeah, that's some bullshit. But how quickly do gluten sensitivities kick in? I guess that's the question. Given what we know about her gluten allergy now, would you say it's legit? Or is it potentially an act? Okay, Candy Thunder has something to say here. Here we go. Okay. Oh, wait, here comes the voice of God again.
So
yes.
Shouldn't the dad have gotten to choose, shouldn't he have been able to choose his own cake? And why does her gluten allergy factor into the fact that it's dad's birthday? She should have had a gluten-free cake on the side for herself, and she should have bought it herself because it was the dad's birthday. So he should have bought the cake that the dad wanted, made that cake, and no gluten allergy should have ever factored into the equation. If you want to have a cake at somebody's birthday and you have a gluten issue, buy your own cake because it's your issue. If they had gotten along and she wasn't a step monster, he probably would have made 2 cakes, gluten-free and
gluten not free.
Yeah.
Sometimes God makes some really good points.
But I think the other part of this is somebody that said that it could take time for it to kick in, but it's very convenient that it wasn't until she found out that there was no gluten in it or that it had gluten in it that she's like, "Oh no, I feel sick. How could you do that?" It's very convenient.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, hell, you can't say now because, I mean, who would in commitment to an act lock themselves in the bathroom and pretend to have the Hershey squirts all night? Who would do that? That's commitment. That's a lot of commitment. Maybe dad wanted gluten-free as well. It's possible, but Candy Thunder, aka Voice of God, makes some really good points there that, yeah, dad should have been able to choose, and she's just forcing that onto other people. I don't know. It's risky no matter what. Like, OP here didn't know for sure that it was an act. It was an experiment, right? So the experiment was to see if there was a reaction or not. And if you're intentionally giving somebody the immediate Hershey squirts, then that's kind of an asshole thing to do, especially since this person wasn't terrible to you. Said that she was always kind to you, just didn't like how she was with your dad. So, I mean, I get it, but it's just risky. I don't know. Messing with people's allergies and sensitivities could have very, very, very terrible unintended side effects. And I would be afraid to do it myself, because if something really, really bad happened, you're going to get thrown in the slammer because you made a cake with intentionally the wrong shit. I don't know. It doesn't seem worth it. It doesn't seem worth it. Experimenting with health is an asshole move. But the point remains, if you need something that is unique, I think it's on you to make sure that you have that for yourself and you're not forcing that onto everyone else.